Hi everyone, it's Lavinia and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you day 30 of the Inktober 2025 Zentangle Challenge. And it's sad to see this come to an end, but I do have plans to continue with the Zentangles in the upcoming months. So this next Zentangle is a bonus. Pun intended. It's actually called Bownus, Bownus. And this is one sample of what it looks like. I think you're going to enjoy drawing this. I know I have some crafty friends that do cards, ATCs, journals, tags, and wouldn't you just love to draw a bow? You can do it. So let's go ahead and get started. I have here the calendar, so I'm going to draw it on here. I'm using one of my ink pens from Artist Loft. I also have my Micron PN. They're both in black. And actually, maybe I will use a different color. Or maybe I'll use color pencil to color it in. I also have my graphite pencil, my blending stump, and I don't think I'm going to need an eraser for this one. So this is really actually very simple. There's a couple of ways of drawing this. I will show you both, but let's break it down and come closer to the calendar. Okay, I think I'll put it here so you can also take a look at the finished design. Now you can draw 4 bows, or I don't know what these are actually called, or you can draw 6, 5. It just depends on how many loops you're putting in. Maybe that's the word, loops. So we're going to start off with a circle, more or less a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just the inside portion of the bow. And then you decide how many of these loops you want to have. And we are just going to start off with what is this inside loop. And actually, before I forget, and so that I have room, I'm going to write in the name of the Zentangle. And so if I want to have 4, I'll just go ahead here and put 4 of these teardrop loops. They don't have to be even. You can make them even if you want to, but they don't have to. And again, if you wanted to put in more, you can go ahead and fit in more. Now there's 2 ways of drawing this. So let's say you have your loops here. I've seen where when you come here, you just come up the loop and start to draw sort of like this hook, which is the beginning of the bigger portion of the loop, and you go all around that, and then you sort of draw a wavy line to connect it. So that's one way I've seen doing it. I prefer, and I saw someone do that. I only saw one person do this, and I actually like that method better. And I'm going to show you here. So as you come up here and you draw that initial hook, rather than going around, I'm just going to go ahead and draw that loop. So you're going to come here from the inside of this petal, or I shouldn't say, well, it looks like a petal, and then just go ahead and connect it to the other edge. So that is how I am going to draw my loops, but you can do it the other way if you'd like, where you just go all around. But I happen to like this, and then I'm just connecting it to the other side. It's as easy as that. And then I just drew a couple of lines as if it was a ribbon on a box. You can have it going this way, ribbon coming this way and that way. You don't have to. You can maybe also put, you can add, that if you wanted to, like the ribbon at the bottom. But let's go ahead and color this in. I think I want to grab Let's see what pencils. Well, I have my Derwents here. Let's go ahead and use those. And let's see what color. That's already red, so I don't want to use red, but I guess we can go with blue, this little pale blue. So I hope you all try this out. Maybe on the Zentangle card, on the tile perhaps, maybe we can do 5 loops and see what that looks like. Just putting a little bit of a darker shade in here. And I'm not coloring the entire bow, but just to give it a little bit of color. And then maybe here, that would be a little bit in shade. And you can do that. So that is Bownus. All right, let's go ahead and I'll bring the Zentangle tile over. All right, let's give this a try with 5 loops. So I'm just going to draw the center of that bow. You can make it smaller if you'd like as well. So let's see, I'm going to start that first one. Then, so let's say that's 12 o'clock, then maybe here around 2 o'clock, I'll put that second one in. Then I don't know if this would be like 4 o'clock. And bows are all different, so it doesn't matter if they're not spaced evenly. You can even add, once you complete one bow, you can put other bows behind it. So definitely, try all different versions out. So I'm going to come from here. Let's see, like that. And then I just want to connect over here. So just give it a little bit like that. So again, coming up here. You can do it all in one motion, but I'm going to give it a little bit of that wave and then connect there. I like that one better than that one, but that's okay. These bows don't have to be perfect because they all have different shapes. So that is what a 5 looped bow would look like. And maybe I'll put a little bit of flicks in here where it would be scrunched. And let's see, let's go ahead. I think I am going to add those as if there's a ribbon going around. Like that. You can also put one going as if it's going this way. Maybe let's go ahead and do that too. All right, really pretty. And let me go ahead and grab the graphite. Actually, I don't put graphite on my actual Zentangle tiles, so it will have to be. Let me go ahead and grab actually my Micron PN because the nib is thicker and I can give that line weight more dimension. Gonna make it a little bit thicker as if this one is on top. And that does make a difference. You can start to see that difference. Really pretty. Just add a little bit of texture. just like that. So this is Bownus. Let's go ahead now and add it to the compilation page. I did add another mythograph here because it sort of got lost here. And I thought with the last two Zentangles that are left, this would make a nice separating border. And I think I'm going to add Bownus right here. So again, let's go ahead and I'm going to use my Micron PN for this one. Okay, so I'm going to add that circle. And I think I'm just going to do the 4 rather than the 5, even though the 5 is pretty. Again, you can even do draw in 6 if you wanted to. So let's go ahead and I want to make some nice big loops here because I want to fill in as much space as I can. And if that goes behind, that's fine. We'll just see what it looks like when a bow is behind something. All right, and then, so this would come up from here. Maybe it's going around that way. And then it's just tucking there. So this one is going to come behind also. So we're just making that initial hook. Connecting that there. And then we're going to come here. And it will just be behind mythograph, like that. So there we go. I'm going to add first that little scrunched up part like this. And let's go ahead and add the graphite. So I'm going to add that here. This loop is on top of that one. This would be here. This would be, I think, just a little bit shaded from the loop. I'm going to add that all around. You can add your graphite little by little to maybe a little bit of shade where that mythograph is on top. All right, let's grab our tortillon, and I'm going to start here where the darker areas would be and just blend that in. This is very fun. And I can see me using this in my cards as well as some other paper craft items that I make. You can always use your your eraser if you wanted to lift anything. Let's see. There. And I can give it an aura. Maybe I will do that, and that will again fill up some more space. So let's go ahead and give it a nice aura. And the aura is also going to be behind the mythograph. Let me start over here. That connects there. Okay, and then I just want to give the appearance of a little bit more texture. So let's see. I want to add more line weight here. Make that a little bit darker. So wherever you think maybe you need to make some adjustments, go ahead and do that. I might add that there. There we go. So definitely let me know what you think of this one. With some of the remaining graphite, I'm just gonna shade that in just a little bit. And one thing I saw Kelly had done is she had put her initials in one of these Zentangles, and I thought that this would be the perfect place for me to, even though I'm not done, I am going to put my initials as if I'm signing my piece. So I thought that was a fun idea. So there we go. Okay, so this is Bownus. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know if you give this one a try. And if you have any questions, also let me know. But again, you can add that ribbon around as well. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Take care. I will see you in the next and last one. Bye.